from a show from 2 weeks ago. So it's a wide range. Generally speaking, when you're new, you're probably making like $3 to $5 a minute, and you're probably doing 7 to 15 minutes at a time. I've now kind of upgraded a little bit. I'm doing 20-minute, 15 and 20-minute feature sets, so I'm going up before the headliner. Um, Still doing showcases and stuff. I'm still in the range though where I'll do anything pretty much. Still do the roast battles, still do all the random.
So when you go on stage, like how quickly do you know? Okay, I'm like really, I'm gonna do really good. Oh man, I might be bombing right now. Like how do you know that?
That's
Like,
funny. Um, I don't know, like it could change real quick. It's like anything, like it could be going really well at the beginning and then not so much. I try to get a feel for what the audience is laughing um, at other people's jokes and try to take that into consideration sometimes. But ultimately, like you got to get, you got to do your thing. And so, bombing, I haven't had that true experience where nobody's laughing or like people are booing me or trying to get me off stage. I've had a couple like hecklers, but I've never had like a crowd turn on me yet, so I don't really know what that feels like, but I'm sure it'll happen one of these days. I've definitely had individuals not be so happy with me.
so how do you handle hecklers? You just don't you probably put them in their place.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And it's funny because I'm a nice person.
You're
I
very nice.
really
Yeah.
am. So nice. And so the shadow side of that is a little bit mean. Um, yeah, I don't know. It just depends. I've like the one that's coming to mind right now, like I hate the response that came up. I feel like I just gave like the most like low hanging fruit kind of thing. Cause this dude was like, "You suck." And I was like, "Yeah, I suck a lot of dick." And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, everybody laughed and I
Yeah.
had the room on my
Yeah.
side and he ended up leaving and
Hmm.
that was corny as hell, like, and I was pretty new, so I was like, "Alright, I
Yeah.
won," but, like, the next day, I'm like, "Okay, this is what I would've said, right?" And so I kinda have, like, responses in my back
Yeah.
pockets because I know which jokes are gonna
Yeah.
rub people the wrong way. It's
Yeah.
political stuff usually, and
See,
so
yeah, I always thought you would have said something like, "Yeah, I suck a lot of dick, but never yours."
it's getting too personal. They don't even want him to think about that. We're not painting no kind of pictures like that. Um, yeah, this other lady, I let her interrupt me like 4 times. I was like, "Okay, uh-huh." And then she said something, and I just had to kinda go in on her, but
Yeah.
she didn't interrupt me the rest of the
Yeah.
set, and
Why I don't understand why people do that. Like you paid money to see these comedians. Why do you heckle? I never understood that.
that's yeah, that's real. In those situations, those are both open mics where they did not pay, and people are drunk and,
Yeah.
people be drunk. That's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
part of it. They get that liquid courage, and for some reason, because there's a with us being up on the stage and stuff, there's this expectation that we're gonna keep our composure to a certain extent, so that there's like it's almost like the keyboard warrior kind of effect,
Yeah.
but somehow in person they still feel safe to do
Yeah.
that. Like you wouldn't say that to me if we were just
No.
having a conversation at a cocktail party. You just have this like weird.
Has this ever happened where like someone's heckling someone and a comedian just like snap and jump off the stage and start fighting the person? Just like,
I've seen like clips and stuff. I've never seen it in
yeah.
person. Um we have this show in Denver called the Gong Show, which is exactly what it sounds like. People can get gonged off stage. And so it's a late night Tuesday thing on like Colfax, which is like not known for, it'd be like a bar on Aurora or something, Like it's it's just kind of a rowdy kind of situation. So you get 2 minutes guaranteed, and then after 2 minutes, anybody in the room can gong you off stage, and heckling and stuff is actually encouraged. It's like meant to be like a can you win over the crowd and get the room on your side kind of vibe. And so at that show, I've seen things get a little physical. I've never seen a comedian like jump off stage and go after somebody, but I have seen people rush the stage.
Okay. So obviously you have your own style, right? Was any comedians like you kind of like, like look up to and trying to base your style off of?
Um, Not in terms of like style, I don't think. I definitely want to try to not emulate other people's style, but some of the people that I look up to are definitely more like the political comedians. And um, I got to see Amanda Seales live a few years ago, and I like the way that she just like she speaks her truth and then finds a way to make it funny with stuff that's not funny. You know what I mean? Michelle Wolf, Asim Minaj. I was a big fan of what he did with his special before, all the things came out about him lying about anthrax and shit. But he had I call it PowerPoint comedy. So he had visual effects. So if my background in public speaking, coaching, and pitches and stuff, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do PowerPoint comedy and just do different like versions of comedy. Like there's still so much that I haven't gotten to explore. So I have my voice. Like I can't remember who it was. My boyfriend sent me this clip of somebody talking about how like you're always gonna have your voice, but then over time you refine it, but it's always you. So I have my voice, but I think the style is gonna evolve the same way like your personality is kind of your personality, but you evolve and you mature and you grow a little bit, but you're still kind of always you. That's what I think it is, and so I'm still finding that in a sense, but
So why do you think some people find like one person funny, another person not funny? What do you think that is?
my friend Nina Davis told me that the best joke, I mean, she didn't come up with this, but she's the one who put this in my head. Is like the best joke is an inside joke with a friend, right? Where you can just like look at somebody across the room and
And
you're
and you,
just
and,
busting
and
out
you, and you
laughing,
instantly
right?
know.
And so like if we can create kind of that feeling, it's not going to be the same, but pseudo feeling of me, you, there's 100 people sitting around you in the crowd, but me and you are having this like moment and like we got this
Yeah.
like inside joke now. If you can recreate like that feeling, that's the bit like that's the best one, right? Like that's the biggest feeling. And so you're not going to be friends with everybody. You're not going to connect with everybody. People aren't going to get that spark from every single person. And that's part of like the beauty of art and humanity, how we all have room to grow. And
So I know for a while, and you're very detailed. You're very you do it like you're really good at doing planning, right? So for your comedy career, do you ever plan out like you want to be certain places, like you want to be like performing in front of 10,000 people crowds in 5 years? You want to like do like go to Joe Rogan's station comedy show and perform in 2 years? Like you have like a, I'm pretty sure you have a plan of what you want to do, right?
uh
Sort of, kind of.
not really,
That's
to be
surprising.
honest. Yeah, part of my like transformation during like COVID and stuff was just kind of letting go of some of that rigid. I still set goals, but I don't call them goals, I call them intentions, and like just the rigidity of it. And it's um more like I have big long-term goals, sure, but in terms of like 5 years, 2 years, like I don't have it broken down quite like that. Versus I'm thinking about like my lifestyle overall and wanting to be a touring comedian, and there's milestones along the way that I've identified. And so then on like a short-term basis, I'm like, okay, I got these long-term things. So what do I need to be doing this month, this week to work towards that? And so it's like at the micro right now. But yeah, I actually don't have like this roadmap. There are some clubs that I absolutely want to do. There's some different shows like Don't Tell that I'd like to do. And um other than that, it's not broken down the way like I would approach a business plan or the way I have approached business plans in the past.
Okay. So let's suppose someone came to you and say, "Hey, Christina, man, we really love your comedy. You're killing it. We're gonna put a show on, and you can pick any four comedians to go on tour with you. Be you and four other comedians.
Me
What four comedians
for
would you
the
pick? It
comedian.
could be any comedians, famous people you know. Like, which four would you pick to be like this nationwide tour?
That's funny. That's a great question that I would have never even considered. So if I'm getting asked to bring four comedians with me, I'm gonna pick four people that are funnier than me.